Welcome to Tuesday, the first day of March 2022. This Day Weather Podcast is calling for March to come in like a lamb. Boy, I tell you, the next 3 to 4 days here will be very mild and spring-like, and it's apropos because this is the first day of meteorological spring. Meteorological spring usually starts around early March, around March 1st or so. You won't see it on a calendar, but usually the official start of spring, fall, winter usually is tied to, like this month, it's usually around the 20th or the 21st, but it's all tied to astronomy, the tilt of the Earth, how far the Earth is away from the sun. But when we start to see weather patterns change out of seasons, it's usually early March. So to give you an example, the first day of meteorological winter is usually in early December, around the 1st or 2nd. And we all know around here that the first day of spring and the first day of winter does not necessarily match up with what we see weather-wise, and that's why we use this. Now, mild temperatures and gusty winds will be found along and east of the divide. It is going to be very spring-like here for the next 4 days, but we've got two storm systems that will impact the region late Friday through Monday, and stock growers, you need to be prepared. You know, last week at this time, we were staring down the biggest Arctic outbreak of the year. Now we're looking at temperatures in some areas of the high plains that might even break 70 degrees over the next 2 or 3 days, but then we're going to drop 30 to 40 degrees in some areas by this weekend into early next week, and we're going to get some snow with that. And we see cold and unsettled weather all of next week in the region, and it looks like we got some new long-range data in, and we'll show you March is going to probably be a colder than average month. So don't be basically persuaded by the next 3 or 4 days on this is how all of March will go. It's kind of a tease, really. In the meantime, enjoy the tease before reality hits. Satellite photos show a swirl here. There's another back area of swirl of clouds there with a couple of low pressure systems. We have this really nice onshore flow of moisture into Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and parts of western Montana, while this region right here will be in the Chinook zone with mild Pacific air dominating the weather pattern. But there will be, up here, this onshore flow bringing some needed moisture to parts of the Pacific Northwest, while the west to east flow brings mild air really to most of the rest of the USA. But you can see the low back up here. We've got this system here. We've got a lot of Arctic air still up over Hudson Bay and eastern areas of Canada. These are temperatures by noon tomorrow. And you can see the contrast between still a lot of cold air up in the higher latitudes, but look at the United States. Other than the Dakotas up here, northern Minnesota, most of the U.S., especially the Central Plains, are going to have some very spring-like temperatures almost coast to coast. This is that onshore flow of moisture. So for along and west of the Cascades, it's going to be wet, but we're also getting some rain and snow to get over the divide and into parts of eastern Washington, northeastern Oregon, the panhandle of Idaho, the valleys of far northwest Montana, and then we're going to see some of this moisture get out into the plains here by the end of the week. But notice that for today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, well, at least most of Friday, this is a dry area here. Now, going forward, this is where things begin to change. This is by late Thursday afternoon. We've got a nice-looking low just off the coast of San Francisco. This will bring rain to California and some Sierra Nevada snow. We've got another low here coming in behind it. Now, sometimes I mention during the podcast something that's called Henry's rule, where when you get two lows that start to basically approach each other, the low upstream will make the other low move or kick it out. So this low diving south kicks this low northeast. And when that happens, we'll start to see that rain hit the west coast areas by Thursday afternoon. And there it is, that same low that was over and just west of San Francisco by Saturday sunrise is right on top of northeastern Colorado. Now, it's not a terribly strong storm, but there's going to be good moisture with it. Then you notice the low coming in behind it. Well, it's going to come right in behind it and move a little bit more slowly to the east because it does not have a strong kicker. That next kicker is back up to here. So what'll happen is we're going to have a rapidly developing area of snow starting off as maybe a rain-snow mix late Friday afternoon and evening in this blue area here. Also notice the mountains of western Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, back in the Sierra Nevada, the Utah mountains, the southwest mountains of Colorado. This is by Saturday afternoon and evening and really getting started late Friday. But this area here could end up being an area of several inches of snow, wind, and sharply colder temperatures. For northeast Colorado, southeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, and parts of South Dakota, we may end up with a pretty good little snow event. What I'm showing you here is the potential for lightning. Now, I don't put the risk of thunderstorms being very high, but when it's as warm and mild as it is now, when we get this low coming in and the cold air loft mixes up with that warmer air on the ground, I would not be surprised at all if one or two isolated thunderstorms develop Friday afternoon and evening in these blue areas here. And that's a testament to how unstable and moist the atmosphere is. This is the time of year we usually start to see this. In fact, March is usually the month where we get the first rumble of thunder of the season. This is what that snowfall forecast looks like in this area here, and this is mostly Friday night through the day Saturday. Also, some pretty good snows up in the southern provinces of Canada, some nice snow up in the Sierra Nevada. As we go forward, we also have wind with us. These are the wind gusts overnight Friday into Saturday morning. Now, they're not terribly strong, but we're going to see some blowing and drifting snow in this area right here as well as the storm gets better formed over northeast Colorado. These are temperatures relative to average by Sunday afternoon. So we are going to see an end, a rapid end to the very nice mild weather we're getting now. By Saturday night, that same low is going to be coming towards the Four Corners. This is the Saturday morning low. By Sunday morning, it's all the way into Minnesota, moving out rather quickly. So it's going to be a quick hitter. But this system will move like this. And as it does, this will bring another round of moisture. This is round 2. So we actually have 2 systems. Some rain and snow turning the snow Friday night into Saturday. Then Saturday night, Sunday into early Monday, we've got this next batch of snow coming on in. And this is all the way into Wednesday, the 9th. Next Wednesday, we've got a low kicking out here. Cold northwest winds aloft coming in from the northwest. Another little low here. What we're going to have is a lot of ability for cold air to come back in. So look at the purple. This is by next Thursday. Colder air spills back on in. So enjoy the warmth coming over the next 4 days. It's going to be a while before warmth like this comes back. And stock growers and travelers, keep an eye on the weather for Friday night, Saturday, then again Sunday into Monday. Taking a look at the new 30-day outlook, this is from the European Center, and this is looking out all the way through April 1st. So what this does is this adds up all the days between now and April 1st, averages them together, and where you see blue or green, temperatures are predicted over a 30-day period to be colder than normal. So you can see all the blue across the west. This is why we're indicating that despite the warm start to the month, March on the whole could end up being